They say anything's possible. You got a dream like you never seen obstacles. Chasing obscene profits, so we ain't stopping for the red light.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? So this video, I want to talk to y'all about, is it possible, right? Is it possible to, as a lease opera prime, be home on a weekly or bi-weekly basis consistently and to make money, to be profitable doing so? I've been asked that before. I've answered that question before, but I didn't have the experience that I just recently got over the past 5+ weeks. First time I was asked about it, I had pretty much been running straight OTR, gone for 4 weeks and back home for a couple days. The second time I was asked about it, I did experience 1 week of that, where I was home 2 or 3 times throughout that week, and was able to get home that weekend as well. And I was able to net over 2,000. So, but that, you know, like, I can't really base an answer on that, because that could just be a one-off. You know what I mean? That could just be an aberration. So, what I'm going to speak on now is pretty decent sample size. You know, I got 5 weeks where in a row where I've been home 2 to 4 nights every week over the past 5 weeks. For reasons, you know, where there was a couple times I was home actually because without a load. Most of it has been passed through the house with loads, but there are 4 reasons four reasons why I was home without a load. One was because my great aunt had a minor stroke. Then right after that, my sister was graduating from college, so I had to come back to see her, walk and everything. Then after that, my grandmother had a scheduled outpatient surgery, as did my mom a couple weeks after that. So those 4 things drew me back to the house. But in between all that, I've been getting loads where I was just coming back home, past through Virginia. You know, I've been doing a lot of driving between basically primarily Pennsylvania, but I've gone up to Massachusetts as well, Jersey, and down to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, but just runs where I was able to go out and basically get a load coming right back. So, how has that panned out for me? I want to focus on this current week in particular. It's the freshest one in my mind, and it's the best one. This is the best week I've had over these last 5 weeks financially, and getting home. To be honest, this whole week was just the best week I've had over the past 5 weeks. So, last Monday picked up the first load of this pay cycle in Fletcher, North Carolina, from Sierra Nevada. Beer load going up to Philadelphia, PA. Picked that up Monday night around midnight. Drove straight home with it. Got home around 9 a.m. Tuesday. Stayed home all Tuesday. Got up Wednesday about 4:30 a.m. Hit the road. Delivered that load up in Philadelphia, and then was immediately dispatched on another load picking up out of Pennsylvania, about 20 miles from where I was at, going to Louisville, Kentucky. So I went, picked that up, dropped on the situation, and drove right back home. So left out Wednesday morning, got back home Wednesday around 6 p.m. And stayed home Wednesday night, got up and left out the house Thursday around 1 p.m. Drove up to Catlettsburg, I think that's how it's pronounced, Catlettsburg, Kentucky. It's a flying J up there. I took my 10-hour break there. Got up Friday morning, went on in, delivered that load. I had a 11 a.m. appointment, so got there. They held me there. I was there for like over 6 hours. So, but while I was there, I was sitting on a load to pick up, pre-planned load, picking up out of Louisville, Kentucky, also about 10 miles away, 15 miles away. Was at the place getting unloaded for over 6 hours. So after they finally got me empty, I drove up to a truck stop in off-duty personal convenience time, so I wouldn't interrupt my break. Finished out a 10-hour break, took a shower, got something to eat, power nap, went and picked up that load out of Louisville, Kentucky that was going to Elkton, Maryland, drove right back home. Got home Saturday morning around 9-ish, 9:30-ish, and that load delivered Sunday night at 9 p.m. So I was home the rest of Saturday, and I left out of the house around 5:30 Sunday evening, right? Afternoon, whatever. Delivered that load, took a 10-hour break last night, and I am picking up this load in Perryville, Maryland, that is going down to Suffolk, Virginia. Same day pickup, same day delivery. And this will be the last load of the week, more than likely. There's a possibility that I could drop this off. It's supposed to be a drop hook, I believe. it is a possibility I could drop this off and end up picking up another load and going whichever way that load is going. But as of right now, this will be the last load for the week. So this load puts my revenue up to just under $5,000 for this week. And my rule of thumb is, you know, I mentioned it before, I usually expect about half of the gross. So whatever the truck gross is, I usually expect to net about half. So being right at $5,000, I'm expecting to net about $2,100, maybe $2,200 this week. Now let's just recap real quick how much I was home this past week. Got back home, what was it, Tuesday morning. Stayed home, was home Tuesday. Got up Wednesday, delivered a load. Picked up a load and came right back. So Tuesday and Wednesday I was home. Left out Thursday, slept in the truck Thursday. Was driving back home Friday night. Got back home Saturday. So I was home Saturday and Saturday night. That's 3 nights at home. And left out Sunday. So that's 4 days at home, 3 nights at home. And delivered that load, and now I'm where I'm at right now. So as of right now, I was home 3 nights and on the road 3 nights. Like I said, revenue $5,000. Should see around $2,100 to $2,200 this week net, before taxes, of course. And you know, compared to the last couple weeks, I've been home 2 or 3 nights the past 3 or 4 weeks, and you know what my net ended up being was, last settlement was about 18 and some change. The one before that was about 1750. The one before that was about, I think, just under 1,500. And then the one before that was actually like 800, but I was home for like, I think that was right after my sister's graduation, so I was home for like, it was a short week. Long story short, it was a short week. So that's how I've made out over these past 4 or 5 weeks. Running and being home literally every week, at least 2 nights, between 2 and 4 nights each week. So is it possible? You know what I'm saying? To answer the question, is it possible to, as a lease op, be able to get home on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, but just gonna focus on a weekly basis because that's what I've been doing, and make money and be profitable? Based on my experience, based on my 5-week sample size, yes, it is possible. Of course, that depends on where you live at. Y'all know I live in VA. It's a lot of loads that are passing through Virginia, a lot of loads coming out of Virginia and coming to Virginia, so it's easy for me to get home. You know what I mean? It's just if it ain't something that's picking up here, delivering here, it's something that's going through here. So it's easy for me to get home. If you don't live in an area or a state like, you know, similar to like my situation, if you live out in the boonies somewhere like South Dakota or Montana, or, you know what I mean, something like that, it's probably not going to be as easy for you to do that. But is it possible? Yes, it is possible. You know what I mean? So that was basically the whole point of this video. Hopefully that's helpful, man. Like I said, it does depend on where you live at. It also depends on your fleet manager. Side note, although I had thought about it, I didn't actually reach out to my fleet manager and tell him this is how I wanted to be operating for a couple weeks. That's just the way it worked out. Between me getting home for those 4 examples where I needed to be home, and just in between him running me through the house a lot, like I said, me and my fleet manager, man, we in tune. We've been on the same page since I got here. So having a good fleet manager, one that you're on the same page with, one that knows what they're doing, plays a big role in it as well. But with that said, man, I think they about done loading me. About time for me to get this paperwork, boogie on down to Suffolk. And if they don't send me a pre-plan by the time I get down there to drop this load off, I'm just going to head back home and take my 10-hour break at home and get up Tuesday and get back to it Tuesday morning. So with that said, man, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. And until next time, y'all know what it is. Y'all be...
Look at my review, all I see is niggas' headlights. Catch me if you can, hope. They try and sack me and I scramble. Look up in the sky, you see exactly where I am, bro.